The fire alarm in the law office had everyone panicking. They couldn't find the exit through the smoke until the quiet secretary Lisa took control because she knew how to land an F-16 with zero visibility. Welcome to Silent Hero Stories. Before we continue with this incredible story, tell me in the comments what city you're watching from today. And if you believe the stories of silent heroes need to be heard, hit that subscribe button. These stories must not be forgotten. Lisa Martinez arrived at work every morning at exactly 8 a.m. She'd quietly enter Bradford Associates Law Firm in downtown San Diego, say good morning, sit at her desk, and begin her daily routine. The same routine for 2 years, never changing. She made perfect coffee. She organized files systematically. She managed phone calls politely, but effectively. She never confused appointments, never kept clients waiting. The perfect secretary. The other office staff called her Quiet Lisa. She didn't talk much, didn't joke around, never spoke about her personal life. She just did her job and left at 5 p.m. sharp. Nobody knew what she did outside of work. Lisa's desk had no personal items, no photos, no decorations, no personal notes, just a computer, phone and files, as if she had no past at all. But there was something. Lisa's way of moving. Her walk was very straight, very measured, her posture was perfect, and most importantly, she never panicked during any crisis. Even in the most stressful moments, she remained calm. The firm's senior partner, Richard Bradford, greatly appreciated Lisa. This office doesn't function without her, he'd say. She never makes mistakes, never runs late, never causes problems. But Richard knew nothing about Lisa's background either. Her resume simply stated previous employer, private company. No details. The staff had begun to notice Lisa. There were strange details. For example, the pens on Lisa's desk always stayed in the same order, like military discipline. She always answered the phone with her left hand, keeping her right hand free, as if she was ready for something. And Lisa's way of speaking was very different. She'd say copy that instead of okay. She'd say negative instead of no. She used military terminology, but nobody noticed. Strangest of all, Lisa never checked the weather, but she'd look at the sky through the window, observing wind direction and cloud formation, as if she was about to fly. The firm's young attorney Mike Thompson was trying to get closer to Lisa, but the woman was very distant and professional. Lisa, what do you do on weekends? He'd asked one day. Personal activities, Lisa had replied briefly. What kind of activities? Various. Do you play sports? Lisa had hesitated for a second. Yes, various sports. What sports? Extreme sports. And she'd ended the conversation there. Mike couldn't understand what that meant. What did she mean by extreme sports? One day the office had an unexpected visitor, an older man, gray hair, military bearing. He'd asked for Lisa at reception. I'm looking for Lieutenant Martinez. Lisa had looked up. Something flashed in her eyes. Then she calmly replied, I'm sorry, nobody by that name works here. The man looked at Lisa more carefully. Lisa Martinez, callsign Phoenix? This time Lisa stood up. I think you're looking for the wrong person. The man smiled. Phoenix, don't you recognize me? Commander Johnson, Miramar Naval Air Station. Lisa froze. Everyone in the office was looking at them. Lisa quickly led the man to the conference room. 20 minutes later, the man left. Lisa returned to her desk, but she wasn't the same Lisa anymore. Tense, alert, different. Mike gathered courage to ask, Lisa, who was that man? An old acquaintance. What did he mean when he said Lieutenant Martinez? Lisa looked at him. For the first time there was hardness in her eyes. Nobody's perfect, Mike. Everyone has a past. What's your past? That's not something to ask. But now everyone in the office was looking at Lisa with different eyes. Lieutenant Phoenix? What did Miramar Naval Air Station mean? Wednesday afternoon. Everything was normal. Lisa was organizing appointments. Mike was working on a case file. Richard was in meetings with clients. At 2:15 p.m., the fire alarm went off. At first nobody took it seriously. They thought it was a routine fire drill. But then the smell of smoke began to fill the air. There had been a short circuit in the electrical system. Smoke was pouring from the 8th floor office's air conditioning system, and the smoke was spreading rapidly. The staff panicked. They ran to the emergency stairwell, but the smoke was too thick. You couldn't see hand in front of face. People had lost their way. Richard was shouting, Where's the exit? Where's the exit? Mike was stumbling through the smoke. I can't see anything. Secretary Jennifer was crying, I'm lost, help me. Everyone was in panic. The smoke was getting thicker. Nobody could find the exit. That's when Lisa took control. Her voice had changed. No longer the soft secretary voice, but the voice of a commander. Everyone stay calm. The authority was so powerful that everyone went quiet. Follow me. Single file. Scene 5. Rescue Operation. 547. Lisa was like radar through the smoke. Even though she couldn't see, she never lost her direction. Richard, hold my left hand. Mike, hold Richard's shoulder. Jennifer, follow Mike. Following voices. They formed a human chain. Lisa was leading from the front. 6 steps straight. Now turn left. Careful. There's a threshold here. How did she know? Nobody could understand. The smoke provided zero visibility, but Lisa could see everything. Phoenix to base, requesting immediate evacuation route confirmation. Mike was surprised. Lisa was talking to herself. She'd said Phoenix. The name Commander Johnson had mentioned. Lisa was doing perfect navigation through the smoke. She knew every turn, calculated every obstacle in advance. Stairs in 2 meters. Everyone hold the handrail tight. Going down the stairs, Lisa kept giving instructions. Slow and steady. Count your steps. Anyone missing? Sound off. Richard here. Mike here. Jennifer here. Roger that. Continue descent. In 5 minutes, she got the entire group to safety. She did this with zero visibility, without any help. Outside, everyone was looking at Lisa. Was this the same quiet secretary? The fire department had arrived. The fire was under control, but everyone was asking Lisa questions. Richard approached her. Lisa, how did you do that? Lisa took a deep breath. There was nothing left to hide. Because I'm a Top Gun Naval Academy graduate. What? Lieutenant Lisa Martinez, callsign Phoenix, U.S. Navy fighter pilot. I served 8. Mike was listening with his mouth open. You're a pilot? I was an F-18 Super Hornet pilot. Carrier-based operations. 200 combat hours. Richard couldn't believe it. But you're a secretary. Now I'm a secretary. I used to have a different life. Why did you quit? Lisa's eyes looked into the distance. Because some things change a person. War, losses, responsibility. Civilian life is sometimes better. But today the person I used to be came back. In emergencies, training is never forgotten. Jennifer asked, how did you find the way through the smoke? Instrument flying training. You learn to fly with zero visibility, environmental awareness, spatial orientation, emergency procedures. It's all taught at Top Gun. Mike, where does the Phoenix call sign come from? Lisa smiled for the first time. Because I rise again from the most difficult situations. The next day Lisa came to work again, but she wasn't the same Lisa anymore. Everyone was looking at her differently. Richard called her to his office. Lisa, we need to talk. I know. Are you firing me? Quite the opposite. I want to promote you. Lisa was surprised. What do you mean? You're not just a secretary, you're a leader. What I saw yesterday was the best crisis management I've ever witnessed. This firm needs you. But I'm not a pilot anymore, just a former pilot. No, Lisa, you're Phoenix, and phoenixes never die. They just change form. Richard continued, I'm offering you the operations manager position. You'll be responsible for this firm's emergency procedures, staff training, crisis management. Lisa thought, this means you're not just a secretary anymore, you're a leader again. From that day on, Lisa changed. She now spoke up, took initiative, led. But she was still humble. Mike had asked her, Phoenix, why didn't you tell anyone? Because the past is the past. What matters is the present life. But you're a hero pilot. Lisa shook her head. No, Mike, I used to be a pilot. Now I have a different job. But when necessary, my old skills come back. Do you have any amazing flight stories? Lisa smiled. Yes, but those are for another time. And Lisa Martinez began her new life. No longer just a quiet secretary, but operations manager Phoenix, at peace with her past, ready for the future, because that's how real heroes work, quietly, humbly, and when necessary, they emerge as whoever they need to be. Lisa Martinez was no longer a Top Gun pilot, but the Phoenix call sign was still alive, in a different form, with a different mission. Now do you know someone like this? Someone who appears ordinary, but has an extraordinary past. Write their names in the comments, share their story. At Silent Hero Stories, we won't forget these silent leaders. If this video touched you, subscribe and share. These stories must live on. See you in the next video. And remember, if you see a quiet secretary, maybe she's a former queen of the sky.